Hey guys, it's Faye from Solar Flow and I'm back with another video. Today's topic, déjà vu. What is déjà vu? Why do we care about it? And what is the actual purpose or meaning of it behind the veil? Because that's what we talk about here on this channel. It's everything that's behind the veil. The things that we can't necessarily see, but are no less real because we can't see them. Now, I will just tell you, there is no veil here. My hair is sticking up. It doesn't want to lay down. That's okay. But yes, if you're noticing that my hair is standing up on its end, like I've stuck my finger into a socket, maybe I have. I haven't. All right, so what's déjà vu? Why do we care about it? What is the actual meaning of déjà vu behind the veil? All right, so we may know déjà vu as a feeling we have been somewhere, we're somewhere, what we think for the first time, and we're like, hey, wait a minute, I think I've been here before. It may be you're talking to someone and you have this feeling, I've spoken to this person before. Why do we get those sensations? What do they mean? What do they really mean? So when I sat down to receive this information, I very specifically went looking at déjà vu. And what was shown to me is that déjà vu is it could be a message or a feeling or a sensation in our body, in our minds, and it's coming from our higher self. Now, for many of you, this idea of a higher self, this could be the first time that you've heard about that. So I'll kind of like explain what that is. You could look at your higher self almost like the ultimate guardian angel. And the reason they're the ultimate guardian angel is because they are a part of ourself. They are a part of our soul that is not residing in our body. They are a part of our soul that is actually with us. We can't see them, but they're with us. And it was shown to me that they're hanging out by our shoulders and also slightly elevated above. So it's not like they're standing in tandem behind us. It's not like you can, it would be kind of cool if you did turn around and see them. But it's not like they're right behind you. They're behind you and kind of also above you. And the reason, the purpose, the primary purpose of them is that we are very limited and veiled in what we can see here on the earth plane for many, many reasons. And if you want to kind of understand a little bit more about that, I would go back and watch my video behind the veil, what the veil is, what purpose does it serve, and then how to start to see beyond it, because that will tie in with this video to some extent as well, which is that being earthbound and being in a physical body, we have limitations. And the purpose of the veil is a protective mechanism. That's not to say that because we're in a physical body, we're all alone out here and we don't have any help. No, that's not true. We do. We have our higher self, our guardian angels, and our guides. And I can, if you guys are interested in that, comment down below. Let me know that you want a video devoted only and solely to all of those three things, like our higher self, our guides, and our guardian angels. Let me know if that's a topic that you would be interested in. But we are not completely alone on our own, like some child who is misbehaving sent out to play outside and no one's giving you attention. No. We do have our higher selves that are not confined to a body, and they can be in multiple dimensions at one time. So they're here with us in the 3D, but they're also connected directly to source, to another word for source would be God, the universe, whatever term you choose to put on it, they're all one and the same. But they're directly connected. And they are in multiple dimensions simultaneously. They're here with us on Earth, they're in the fifth dimension, they're in every conceivable dimension that there is. They are our higher self. They are the higher version of ourselves because they're the ones that have access to all the information that we do not have access to. Again, go back and watch the veil, behind the veil video on the veil to understand more about that. So again, it's because we're not here all alone. We haven't been misbehaving and we're just sent outside to play and no one's paying attention to us. We do have a higher self and they are here for many, many different reasons. To get our attention, to bring us information, to get us to pay attention, to get us to slow down. That's a big one, right? How many of us are just going, doing, and almost to the extent that we are disembodied from ourselves and from our actual internal warning system. So they can be there to get us to be like, yo, slow down here, right? Like how many times have you been in the car driving, maybe a little bit too fast, and you were suddenly thinking, I better slow down? Pay attention to that thought. If you have ever been maybe walking down a street and you get like a funny feeling, pay attention to that. And you could say that intuition is an expression of déjà vu. But really what I'm going to be discussing about here is the way that déjà vu is brought down to us and why it is brought to us. And how we can learn to work with déjà vu, intuition, to pay attention, and to get more into a flow state where we're not just automatically dismissing what information is coming to us, but receiving it. So now that we've kind of have a foundation in our higher self, let's talk about how they bring information into us and how it's expressed as déjà vu. So as it was shown to me, because our higher selves are in multiple dimensions simultaneously, and specifically they are in the spiritual realm, connected directly to God, they can bring the information in so much more effectively. You can almost say they are a channel to bring it into us. And the way it was shown to me, as I said, because they're mostly hanging out by our shoulders and as well above our head, so they can bring the light, and whatever that light is meant to portray to us, they can bring it down. And the degree in which we are open and receptive to receiving it, or in tune with ourselves, will be the degree in which it has to be brought down. So for example, if someone's crown chakra is very, very open, they will receive information and it literally feels like information falls into their head. And if someone's very awake and aware of that, and they have already learned to trust it, when that information comes in, there's no second guessing it, there's no dismissing it, they're going with it, right? So that could be driving too fast, I better slow down. Now, if there is some level of resistance still in the way that people are receiving the information, then it can come down also into their third eye. And your third eye is the space between your eyebrows. It's said to be where we have our connection to God. But the way that déjà vu would manifest here is, let's say, through a dream. Right? So how many of you guys, I hear this actually from you guys all the time, which is, I had a dream that something was going to happen, and then it happened. What does it mean? Or I had a dream, I think I had a dream that something was going to happen, because something happened, but it felt so familiar to me. What does that mean? That's déjà vu. You will see it here in the way of dreams because our conscious mind has some sort of level of resistance. And when we are sleeping and our mind is at rest, there is no resistance. So very often information can come into us when we are sleeping as a dream because our minds are at rest and completely open, right? So pay attention to dreams that you have that may seem notable. I mean, I am really a big fan of keeping like a dream journal by your bed, so that way when you wake up, if you've had a dream, even if it doesn't seem like it's notable, but if you have a very, very vivid dream that you can remember clearly when you wake up, jot it down as soon as you wake up. Even if it's 2 or 3 sentences what the dream was about, because that is a way of training our minds to retain the information that comes in. And then as we go about our experiences and we seem to line up more with déjà vu, that is why. So if you think that you are receiving information in your dreams, or if you are having a sense of déjà vu in something happening and being like, I dreamt about this, or I've been here in a dream, what does it mean? Start to keep a dream journal. So in addition to the thoughts just plopping into your head, into your crown chakra, and information being shown to you in your third eye, which could be dreams, there are other ways that we experience déjà vu as well. Actually, here's a great example. You know, in the movie The Matrix, Neo is in a building and he sees a cat, right? The black cat. And then he goes down another layer and he's like, whoa, that was weird. I think I just saw the same black cat. And to him, it was just, oh, hey, that's weird. But there was actually more significance in the matrix of what déjà vu meant. So you can also look at déjà vu. It's a way of getting you to pay attention, right? So he thought he had seen the cat twice. He said something about it. He paid attention to it and then was informed, oh, hey, no, actually, that's pretty notable and significant. So if you are having those experiences with your déjà vu in any of the ways, it could even be sight. Is it going to be to that level where it's like literally you're in a building, like going down a flight of stairs and, oh, here's a black cat, going down another one. Oh, here's another black cat. It might be. That could be where your higher self is sending things to you to get your attention and get you to pay attention. Because again, we can be so disembodied going about all of the things that we have to do that we are not paying attention. We are not slowing down. We are not receiving. We are not seeing. So it could be a cat. Actually, I have a crazy story about that. I was going out for a walk with a girlfriend and there was a cat. And this cat kind of like was, I guess you could almost say like following us, or it was in our perimeter, right? So it was coming down the street this way as we were coming down the street this way, right? And I'm like, oh, hey, look, a cute cat. It was actually a big fluffy cat. But it didn't just keep on going, like it was staying around us. And it was like walking behind us, or there was like a brick wall over here partitioning somebody's house from the sidewalk, and it like jumped up onto the wall and it was like walking next to us, and then like it crossed the street and it was hanging, and I was like, okay, this cat is here to bring me a message. I need to pay attention to what that is. And then when I went home and I actually looked into the meaning of what, for example, if you have like a cat animal totem, and I looked into that, I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay. So if you're having experiences like that, where something is coming in, what's the reason? It's an invitation to slow down, to pay attention, and to maybe Google it. Or maybe just actually really kind of like reflect on it. For me, I didn't understand the significance of a cat animal as a totem. But then once I had done the research on it and I had looked into it, I was like, that's pretty spot on. Like, that's what I needed to hear right now. That's what I needed to be reminded of. So yeah, maybe it is literally seeing a cat. Maybe it's not seeing something, but it's that gut feeling that you have in your stomach. It's that literal gut feeling. And that can be something's wrong, something doesn't feel right, I am uncomfortable. Why? And it's actually reminding me of an article that had been sent to me a couple of years ago. And if this is triggering for anybody, I do just want to say in advance, like you can skip ahead maybe a couple of minutes. But it's about people that are in a building when there's a shooting going on. And this article had been shared with me by somebody because a few years ago in California, in San Bernardino, there was a shooter in a building, and they had just kind of gone around and been shooting people. And the article was kind of like exploring why more people had not left, why more people had not run away, but why, in a weird way, people seem to be like just going about their business until maybe they actually saw the gunman. And then, then you're in fight or flight mode. They're maybe running into their office, hiding under their desk, whatever it is. But there was such a large portion of people that were just not doing anything. And the article of it was exploring why that is. And it turns out that our minds act almost like a filtration system. And the mind is picking through what we are experiencing in any given time and space, trying to connect it to or make sense of it by way of another experience that we've had. I'm kind of willing to bet none of us have been in a building when there's been a mass shooting that you would hear that sound and you would be like, oh my God, I'm getting the fuck out of here, right? So our mind is sifting and sorting through it, trying to make sense of it. And that's why, the biggest, when there is actually an active shooter somewhere, the biggest thing that people will say afterwards was, I thought it was fireworks. Because that is our mind trying to make sense of what they heard and not necessarily having a frame of reference to connect it to anything else. So because our mind is this really elaborate filtration system and information has to pass through so many different layers and levels, when we can be in serious danger, that is why we have déjà vu. Or that is why we have intuition. It's so that our body can bring us the relevant information that we need to bypass our mind and get us to safety. So, for example, again, great example, it could be somebody walking down the street and having a really bad feeling, and not even necessarily with the conscious mind knowing why they're having a really bad feeling about it, but just having a really uncomfortable, it feels compressed, or maybe it feels like butterflies are just flying all around your stomach. That is your body trying to get your attention. And the reason your body is getting your attention is because your higher self has information that you do not yet have access to, and they are bringing it down to you to get you to pay attention, to keep you safe. So I'm now I haven't always been in tune and aware, and probably much like a lot of other people, was on some level taught to almost like dismiss the information and the messages that my body was bringing to me. Like, oh, you're reading too far into that, or oh, here's the best one. You're too sensitive. If you have been told you're too sensitive, slow down. Let's examine that. Maybe we can do another video on that at a different juncture. But why are we being told that we're too sensitive? Could it be someone or something, or someone who doesn't understand it and is very much disembodied and so in their physical body that they are not aware of these things, that when they hear something that they just don't understand, they're quick to like dismiss it? There's actually a great quote by Elvis. I'm gonna paraphrase it. That when we talk about things that other people don't understand, they call us crazy. And it's not that we're crazy. It's just that they may not understand what we're talking about. So if someone is disembodied to the extent where they cannot feel at all what their body is telling them, and we tell them, hey, look, like I just don't want to go to that person's house. I just don't feel good in my body. Like, it just doesn't feel good when I'm around these people. If they are not understanding that, they're just going to be like, you're too sensitive, right? Here's the thing. What if you're not too sensitive? What if your body is just trying to get your attention, to pay attention to why you don't feel good when you're around somebody, or you're in their house, or you're on a street? Let's reframe it. We're not too sensitive. We're just listening. We're just paying attention. We're just aware. And again, the level in which we are aware is the level in which the information will come to us. And hey, if you're someone that feels it in your stomach, that is awesome. Let's listen to that, okay? If you're somebody that is so, you might think like you're getting messages in your dreams because, damn it, I will dream something and then it will happen. That's awesome. Your third eye is open. The way that you can start to work with that is dream journal. If you're feeling things in your stomach, the way you can start to work with that is to start trusting it and not allowing your mind to talk you out of what your body is telling you. That if you have a bad feeling, play with that. Explore what it feels like not to just power through and just do what you have to and tell your body to shut up, but to actually listen to it. And that if it's speaking to you, to be like, you know what? I'm gonna slow down today. I'm not gonna drive as fast in my car. I'm not gonna take that street. I'm not gonna walk on that street. I'm not gonna go to that person's house today. To play with what it means to listen to the information that your body is bringing you. Because it is coming to you for the purpose of information, protection, guidance. We can train ourselves to get better at listening to it. So that way, when we have those feelings of deja vu, when we're seeing the metaphorical cat or the actual cat, it's clicking in our mind much faster. And we're saying, this is coming to me for a reason. I'm going to listen to it. And the more we listen, the stronger it gets. It's almost like a muscle. It's training ourselves by listening to it, to making the muscle stronger. And then not necessarily when information comes in, does it have to pass through quite so many layers of filtration in our mind to where our body is then experiencing it as a warning. But the thought appears in your head and it doesn't have to go any further, right? The thought just plops into your head and you're like, I'm trusting this. It's here for us. Deja vu is here for us. And it's brought to us it sounds so crazy, is brought to us by us. So if you don't necessarily trust information that's coming from another person, can you at least trust yourself? If not, why not? If not, has it been because you have been so programmed to ignoring the messages that your body is telling you? And if that's the case, you are in luck, because you can change that right now, today, and you can start to listen to your body, trust the information that it brings to you, and start to trust yourself. Because then we are no longer outsourcing our experiences to somebody else, or to the world, or to what the news is telling us, or to what politicians are telling us, or to what the filtration system in our mind is telling us. We can trust ourselves. Doesn't that feel good to think it, to feel it, to say it? I trust myself. So I hope that this video has been insightful for you on some level. And if it has, and you have a crazy deja vu story, I would love to hear it. Comment down below. And if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And guys, if you think this video is going to help somebody, please share it with them as well. And if this has resonated, great. If not, just leave it behind and keep on going. Find someone else on YouTube to yap in your ear. And as always, until the next video, please stay in the high vibration.